Hello! Welcome to Stories for Wonderful Children and the ongoing saga of Myra and the Online School for Adventuring. I'm Dan Wendelin, your host and storyteller. There's another small gap here where there is a story I failed to record. In that story, the sneaking professor, Professor Tad, teaches Myra's sneaking class how to go to taverns and listen for rumors in order to pick up secret information. That evening, Myra and Corrin go to the tavern together in order to practice listening for rumors. All of Myra's friends bug her about whether this is a date, which she's really not sure about, and it doesn't seem like Corrin is either. While they're there on their maybe date, maybe not, listening for rumors, Myra spots something strange. The religion professor, who teaches the zealot students, sneaking in and meeting with a cloaked figure. A cloaked figure who, Myra spots, has hooves under the cloak and antlers under the hood. She thinks this must be one of the mysterious deer in the forest who run Deer Church. After hearing the cloaked figure demand of the professor to have her people admitted as students, Myra decides it's time to demand some answers from Tweety. And that's where the story picks up. I think this is the last significant gap in recorded stories in this saga of Myra and the Online School for Adventuring. I hope you're enjoying them. So, after her maybe date, maybe not, with Corrin, Myra decided that she had some questions for Tweety. Because after overhearing the conversation between the religion professor
and a deer
and a mysterious hooved and hooded figure,
and a deer,
she strongly suspected that the figure under the cloak had been
a deer.
And from there, one of the deer that attended Deer Church. And so she was beginning to suspect that she really had seen something in that middle of the night escapade with Tweety, and that it had not all just been a dream. And so she wanted some answers. And the only one besides her who had ever seen Deer Church was Tweety. And so Tweety seemed the second best place to go for answers after approaching the religion professor, which she was not going to do. So Myra headed back to her room, very happy to see that Tweety was there, sitting at Tweety's desk. And Myra walked in, sat down at her own desk, and said, "Okay, Tweety, we need to talk." "What about?" asked Tweety, setting down Tweety's lockpick. Myra said, "Okay, so tonight I went to the tavern with Corrin." "Ooh," said Tweety, "was this a date?" "Why does everyone keep asking me that?" said Myra. It's slow around here," said Tweety. "We need some excitement in our lives, and if your social life is the best we can get, we'll go with it." "No," said Myra. "No, I think that there are more exciting things going on around here than my social life. Anyway, I went to the tavern with Corrin because I was going to teach him how to listen for rumors like we'd learned in class today." "I note," said Tweety in passing, "that you have not answered my question." "You note," said Myra, "correctly. Now then, I have questions for you." And she filled Tweety in on what they had heard. "And," said Myra, "I think that the figure in the cloak was a deer, and that the deer want to join the online school, and they want to come and train in whatever part of the line they stand on, and that some of them may want to train to be zealots in their Deer Church religion." "Huh," said Tweety. "You got a lot out of that conversation." Myra said, "What I want to know is everything that you know about Deer Church." Tweety looked at Myra steadily for a moment. She said, "You really want the truth?" "I do," said Myra. "Said Tweety. Alright, well, you're going to be disappointed because I don't really know that much. I just know that among my people, the Rockkin, there are legends of deer that live in the forest around the online school. And we believe that these deer are guardians, protectors of some kind. Protectors against what? Said Myra. Tweety shrugged. Something bad, Tweety said. Something ancient. Something hungry. Oh, said Myra, that's very dark. Anyway, said Tweety, Tweety said, and so when I got here, I explored, and I managed to find that clearing, and it looked just like what was in the Rockkin stories. And so, that night that I took you there, I had been out in the forest exploring, and I had gone by the clearing, and I had seen the deer there. All right, said Myra, so where are they when they're not in Deer Church? I don't know, doing deer things in the forest, I guess. Huh, said Myra. I want to talk to them, now that I know that they can talk. I want to ask them what's going on. What are they defending us against? Is there really something in the forest? Besides, like, all the things we already know about being in the forest? Like, you know, the spiders as big as houses and who knows what else? All right, said Tweety. Well, let me know how that goes. And turned back to the things that the lock that Tweety was trying to pick. Don't you want to come with me, said Myra. Tweety stopped picking the lock. Well, actually, yeah, I kind of do, said Tweety. Let's go. Tweety stood up. Myra stood up. And they headed out toward the forest on a mission to find deer, to demand some answers, to discover the truth. That is where I'm ending for tonight. Thanks for listening to Stories for Wonderful Children. I created today's show, but questions and running commentary were supplied by my children. The theme music was created by Brandon Thompson, and our wonderful logo was designed by Silas Swindelin. If you know someone who might enjoy the show, please tell them about it. Do you want more stories? You can now subscribe to the show and help pick a new story for me to tell every month. The show's website is storiesforwonderfulchildren.com. Until next time, I'm Dan Wendelin, reminding you to tell someone you love a story.